Okay, you may have just run a Google PageSpeed Insight report for your business and your website, and you're trying to understand what all this means and what to do about it after you got the report, right? So I'm going to break this down for you, simple and easy. It's not going to be a technical conversation. It's small business owner to small business owner, website owner, blogger to website owner, blogger, to just explain what this means and then what action items you should take as a result and then what your options are. So I just ran this website right here. It's a local business website for a hardware store. Their website's built on something called Easy Commerce, homemade platform. And so you can see once I plug that in to the system, you can see that it gets a really poor report as far as the platform and the shortcuts this developer took to build the website. So we're going to break that down in case you're in a similar boat or just in case you did have good performance, but you want to understand what you're doing right so that you can keep that going. So first part of the report is discover what real users are experiencing. And what this part means simply is, do you know how when you pull up a website on your phone or on your computer and all of a sudden it just like kind of slowly loads in, right? Certain things start to load. You'll have websites where things just load fast and come all the way down through. And then you'll have things where like one part loads at a time and it slowly loads for you. That's what this means with first content paint, is like, when do the first things start to show up? And sometimes that'll all come at the same time. And sometimes it'll come, one after another, right? We've all experienced that. Like some parts of it will load. So the first content paint is like, when are the first things starting to load? And you can see that this website platform, Easy Commerce, takes on mobile 4.8 seconds for this person's site to load. And then largest content paint, so you can just click here if you want to know any of the answers, but a little bit is confusing. It's like, when are the largest things loading, right? So the largest things are loading are taking 5.4 seconds. This is taking 4.8. Now, here's something you need to know. Customers only wait 3 seconds. 83% of people, if a website doesn't load within 3 seconds, they leave the website. So if you have this going on with your website, it's really important you make a change of platform or you work with your developer to fix the speed, because the problem is customers will not wait this long on mobile. If you take that long to load, they will go to a different website, which means tons of lost sales. In fact, there's a figure that I don't know off the top of my head on the number of lost sales for every additional second. And your website's probably costing you money at that point if it's taking so long. So this is about how long it takes to load. And so you can see this is the performance part, and you can see that it gets a failed. If you've got a failed, you can see, okay, here's why it's failed. It's a 21 out of 100. And then here's all the reasons, right? How long it's taking for the largest paint, total time it's taking is really long. And then it's going to break down the specifics for you. This is all the technical stuff you would share with your developer, right? So if you needed to share a report, you would have this information you could copy and paste or just send them the actual link. This is all about the technical way that the site is built. Again, some developers take shortcuts when they're building the site. This would be one situation where that's probably the case. All right. And so then you can see the things in terms of red, the biggest issues, and then the yellow blocks for performance. And performance is all related to how long it's taking the website to load. And you can see it's similar both on mobile and on desktop, right? So slightly better on desktop, but still pretty slow loading website in general. So that's where you can see all that information. Next is accessibility. Now, this is a really important one and can be a liability for your business if it's not done right. So even this 10% there could be problematic, especially since this business is, I think, selling online, right? It's got products here and selling online. What accessibility means is how does your website work for people with disabilities? Now, it's really important to build a site for people with disabilities to be able to access it too with their tools that they have for like people with hearing or sight impairment, all of that, who need additional tools. It's how well is your website built for them. And then it's going to point out the issues here. Now, you really want to have 100 here. Pretty important, both for liability reasons and just to do the right thing. Here's the next part of the report, best practices. So you can see that there's issues loading the secure certificate on this site. That's obviously a big issue. There were browser errors. There were issues with logging into Chrome DevTools, missing source maps for the large JavaScript. All of that's pretty complicated, but basically we just know that, hey, the platform is not following best practices according to Google, which could open it up to attacks, or it could, cause a lot of issues with loading things. So it's basically just saying, hey, the developer and or the platform does not following some best practices according to Google to make this site really trust and safe, and then just general, right? So these are first and foremost, you want to address those trust and safety, so you're not introducing trust or safety issues for your customers, where they could potentially have phishing attacks or things like that. But these are also, then you have general ones. I wouldn't worry as much about the general ones, but I would definitely look at the trust and safety ones and address those. And then here's the last one, SEO. Now, here's something important to consider. This is following basic search engine optimization advice. Okay. So it's not actually like saying, hey, you're scoring a 91 in terms of SEO optimization. No, it's saying, hey, there's a base level of SEO and you got a 91 in that. So actually, in the overall score of SEO, it's not very good. You definitely want a 100 for the SEO portion, right? Because you want your business to be scored 100 in the very basic level of SEO. So if you don't have that, definitely look at this too, because again, it's a slow loading site that's already hurting your performance. If you can't cover the 100% for the basics of SEO, that's another problem for your business. And all of this is going to hurt your ranking, which, as we know, and if you follow my channel, I'd appreciate if you hit that like and subscribe if you're appreciating the information in this video. The visibility that you have and ranking 1, 2, 3 in local search results makes all the difference in the world in attracting local customers and growing your business. So the mobile friendly piece, it's showing that not appropriately sized, and it's going to give you some image things here. See how images get cut off and things get hard to use on the sliders and the text and content that was uploaded. It's showing you exactly what's not working. So it's saying like people can't actually use this website very well on mobile. So that's hurting the SEO. And then links do not have descriptive text, right? So that's another SEO issue that it's pointing out here. So you definitely want to be striving for 100 there. So that's kind of the overview of those. Again, hit that likes and subscribe, and you can click on and run your page support. Most of this will probably go to your developer, but it also comes down to you as the business person to say, is this a platform issue that my developer has, or are the developer and the platform all in one? Are they the same thing? So you either are going to have your developer work on these improvements, or you are going to go and have your switch platforms to a platform like Shopify or BigCommerce or WordPress or something like that if you're on kind of a cheaper homemade platform that's creating all these performance issues for your business. Thanks so much for joining me, and we'll catch you in the next video. Stay tuned, because we're talking about ways to improve the performance of your website from a search standpoint as well. So we'll catch you in the